Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So anyhow, before we get to the video here, I just wanted to give you guys a quick intro on what's been happening lately here with the channel and all that. So I used to live in Western Washington, and in the last couple of months I moved to Northern Idaho, and the place I moved to didn't have a shop. So well, we have a shop now. I just got to get some concrete poured. But anyhow, so that's why my content has gone down considerably, because I have nowhere to do any work right now. Anyhow, this was the last video that I did, or the last job I did at my old shop in Washington. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to work on my 2002 Ford F-250 Super Duty diesel truck with the 7.3. Okay, so basically what I've done so far is really not much at all. I took the air cleaner out. I've got one of these real cold air intakes. So I took the air cleaner out, and so what I'm going to need to do next is get the charge pipes off, get those out of there. Okay, so when you take this off, there's a little green vacuum hose that goes into here. Make sure to take that off before you break it. Two 8mm bolts hold this on the little metal bracket over there. Then you got your little blow-by hose on the bottom. Of course, a normal clamp right here. That's all it takes to get that off, and then now you really can see there's lots of room for activities. Game on. Okay, so basically what I was doing is trying to get the turbo out of there, and since I can't get to the very bottom of that clamp, it's a 4-piece little deal, similar to how the up pipe is. There's 4 pieces to the clamp. The bottom one I'm just really having a hell of a time getting to, and usually I could try and wiggle the turbo around. Decided to unbolt the down pipes, and then hopefully I can lift the turbo up enough to slide the down pipes out, and then I can get the turbo out, and then putting it together I'm hoping will be not as painful as taking it out. So as far as the driver's side, it's not too bad. The bolts are right out in the open. I used a 1/2 inch and a 3/8 for the bolts, and the nut, it's just a nut and a bolt. Sprayed it down with lots of penetrating oil. This side's not that bad. It's the passenger side that's the real pain in the ass. So this side, for some reason, Ford decided to make you take the wheel well out to get to that top bolt right there. I already got the bottom one off. It's the top one there. You literally cannot get to it with the frame and the down pipe. Hell, even with the down pipe out of the way, I'm pretty sure you probably couldn't do this. So to take the wheel well off really isn't that terribly difficult. Let's see here. There's 3 bolts that holds the little air compressor on, and then you got 2 plastic clips. These are all 5.5 all along the edge of the wheel well, and then that one there and that one there are 8mm. Take those out, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about this Christmas tree one, because all that does is hold this insulated piece in there, so no big deal. So anyhow, I'm letting that last one soak a little bit with the penetrating oil. Hopefully we'll have this damn thing out of here finally. It's only been several days I've been screwing with this. Okay, so I got it out of there. The clamp that holds this on is what was giving me such a hard time. So come to find out, these were so loose that it basically was holding it in place. I had already loosened it off of there, but with the down pipes being so worn out, that was the difficult problem. Once I started screwing around with the down pipes, or the up pipes, I'm sorry, this thing did pop off of there. Then I could get the turbo out. And as you can see, these are still bolted together. Once I started messing with the downpipes down below, trying to loosen these bolts up, they just fell out. So they have been loose for a really long time, as you can see by the carbon all over here. I mean, they just slide right in like nobody's business. So everything went pretty smoothly other than this. I had to use the cutting torch to cut the nut off of this bolt. It was so corroded that it turned, like it made like 3 turns coming off, and then it stopped, and so I just cut it off with the cutting torch. The kit comes with new bolts, so it wasn't a huge deal. And as far as the combination to get, so this sits at the top of the engine bay, and the up pipe goes all the way down to the exhaust manifold. So from underneath, I use this combination, which is a 10 wobbly with an adapter to a half-inch extension that's, well, I don't know, 2-footer probably, something like that. Anyhow, that was the combination that fit up in there on the driver's side. The passenger side, there's no way. Without taking the downpipe down, there's no way you're going to be able to get to them. So my hope is that I can put this halfway together, put the passenger side up pipe in, and then slide the conglomeration in there, and then bolt the other side up afterwards. That's my hope. I really don't want to undo the downpipe because the clamps that came with that kit, I don't know if this thing will come apart and go back together again. So anyhow, it's completely apart now. Now I just got to figure out how to get it back together. This should be very interesting. Okay, so here's the kit that I got. This basically comes with pretty much everything you need to swap the whole deal out. Upon looking at the kit, there's a couple things I want to recommend before you just go ahead and just throw it on your truck. First of all is to make sure that this fits your turbo. Because you don't want to go through all the trouble of bolting this sumbitch in your truck just to find out that this for some reason doesn't want to fit, or the clamp doesn't want to fit over it. So make sure all that shit fits together. Second of all, make sure to go through the inside of it and wire brush it out. There was a little bit of machining shit inside there. No big deal. I mean, it came right off, but you don't want that going through your turbo either. They don't like that. And thirdly, make sure all the bolts fit, because you know how shit is these days. They don't make stuff like they used to, so there'd probably be nothing worse than being under the truck trying to bolt this thing together and having the bolt not want to go in. So I did check all those boxes and made sure that everything fit together. The only thing I haven't done is put the actual up pipes on here and bolt them together to make sure that they're happy. I'll be doing that next. So what I wanted to go over was the difference between this and that. So this uses like a crush washer, so to speak. So when you tighten up when you tighten that bolt up, it basically crushes a gasket that holds it together. This does not. It just uses a bellow, which is a much better design. But they seem to be right in line with where they're supposed to be. We'll find out here shortly. All right, cool. So other than that, I think that's about all I really got to go over. Also, I'd make sure to anti-seize the threads. I do on any exhaust work I do. You'll thank yourself down the road when if you have to take it back apart for whatever reason. It sure is nice to be able to just be able to take it apart and not have a bunch of problems. All right, so I think next I'm going to try and mock all this up and make sure it all fits, and then I'm going to try and throw it in the truck and see how that works out. All right, so anyhow, as I just discussed, got everything mocked up, and everything seems to fit together just fine. I don't see any issues. The bolts thread in all the way, and everything lines up. And not to sound like a broken record or nothing, but figuring all this out here is sure a hell of a lot easier than trying to figure it out in there. But anyhow, it all fits together like it's supposed to. So now I just got to figure out how to get this together with the downpipe still installed. And as I said earlier, I'm going to try and bolt this one together and leave that one off and snake this in there and then try and bolt that together in the truck. That's the game plan. We'll see if it really works. So that was the way to do it, putting the passenger side up pipe on, sliding the assembly together, and then bolting the driver's side on in the truck was the way to assemble it. I just didn't have the ability to film it and do the work at the same time. Okay, so I got the turbo in, got the up pipe mounted, got the down pipe mounted, got the turbo bolted down to the pedestal. So what I had to do to get this to line up, if you bolt the up pipes to the back of the manifolds, you wanted to make the up pipe sit up against the back of the firewall, which made it really difficult to line the turbo up with. So what I did is I went down below and I took all of the nuts off. I left the bolts in, but I took the nuts off, and that allowed it to move around. And that gave me enough wiggle room to line it up to the back of the turbo, because, well, let's be honest, it's a pain in the ass to get that to line up. Once I got that done, I already had it sitting on the pedestal. I just started the bolts a couple times just to hold it in place. And once that lined up, I mocked up the down pipe, got it on there, and much to my surprise, I went down underneath and pretty much everything lined up. So I've gotten everything all tightened up pipes, down pipe, and pedestal. It's all tied up in there. So yeah. The next video, I'll go over how to rebuild the turbo. There just wasn't quite enough room in this to put the whole thing together. But anyhow, I'll have that in the next video just to let you know, in case you're interested in how to reseal and rebuild a turbo. And if you get a chance, I sure like you to hit the like and subscribe button. And of course, if you have any questions, make sure to please leave a comment, and I will do my best to get back to you within a reasonable amount of time. Thanks a lot.